Okay, so we are live now. Hello, everyone. I am so happy today to welcome Kathleen again for a spotlight session. We're going to talk about all things Substack and some new surprising things. Um, can't wait to hear where this conversation leads us. But before that, hello, Kathleen. Hello, so happy to have you here. Can
Hello,
you
Yana. Thank you.
say a few words about you for people who don't know you?
So, people ask, who are you? So I want people to sit with this for just a second and think about it during our whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
I'm whoever you need me to be right now,
Okay.
but without changing myself, without losing myself, because I'm
Yeah.
solid in who I am,
Mhm.
but it's what you need or what the audience needs or what my client needs. But
Yeah.
with that, I'm a daughter.
Yeah.
I'm I'm because I always start with nurse and all this stuff. That's what I do, it's not who I am. I'm a spirit in this body trying to live this human experience is what I am, and I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend. I'm also a registered nurse, 30 years, lot of experience, lived experience, clinically and personally, and a massage therapist of 18 years, a body worker. Um, I am a lot different than a lot of healthcare professionals. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I'm a lot different in a sense that I look at patterns and I look at things. So I kind of wanted to talk to you about that today as well.
Love.
Um,
Yeah.
pardon me?
I
Pardon me?
I'd love to. So for people who don't know, actually, guys, so Kathleen is one of the very few, actually, the only one that I know, a medical professional who actually looks and searches for the cause of anything that you might have as a pain or a problem or an issue, and not just so she's not treating the symptom but looking for the cause and trying to solve it. That's really important. And I'd
The
love
root.
to talk about the root cause. Yes, you call that the root cause,
It's the
exactly.
root, yes. And you helped me with this, and I went away from it a little bit, but I came back
Yes,
to it because you're so good at what you do, and I want to let people know that Yana is excellent, and I want to say some things about her before we end. I know we have an hour, but so I'm focusing really that it was about positioning. What do I do on Substack, right? And I've been on it since 2024. I think it was June 2024, and met Yana in September of 2024. Wished I had met her a lot sooner. I would have saved a ton of money. Uh, because she knows she's the whole deal. She's the whole package. Um, and it's just that. But my Substack is really about helping, and we say high functioning people. I mean, if you're not functioning at a high level, you don't have the stress that a lot do in the world's. It's going very, very fast. So I really went back to what you and I originally talked about when you said you got to niche down. I'm like, I can't niche down. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I did. So really, it's about stress physiology
mm,
and disease prevention. So
yeah,
that's the understanding of stress and the prevention of it, right? Because it's really understanding, stabilizing, and then rebuilding. That's my three pillars. So the stress physiology and disease prevention is the understanding of what's going on, and I do it in a lot of different ways. And then stress regulation, and then the applied tools that people can use. So paid subscribers are going to get things that are behind the paywall, right? Um,
yeah,
on all three of these what do they call them, sections, if you want to call them sections or topics. And so the stress regulating and the tools is this: we got to get stabilized first after we understand what's going on. And then the last thing is survival, grief, and nervous system recovery, and that's the rebuilding.
yeah,
And so I write about that. But I wanted to talk to you about the pivot that I'm making, because I'm still writing about that, and I'm not a writer. I can write. I can write about what I know and what I've experienced and all those things, but I'm not a health coach.
Yeah.
I'm not a, you know, what's the other word? A wellness instructor. I'm not that. I'm a person that's been through lived experiences
Mm.
clinically and, professionally and personally, helped a lot of clients. And like you said, through the root cause. And so I do it a different way. I look for patterns. I look for things. And what I want to do now is what I want to, it's not taken away from what I do on Substack, the writing. I'll still do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But how can I help people the best? What am I an expert in? What am I an expert in? I know holistic and I know healthcare. I know both sides of the coin. And so I've uh, joined certain companies where I can order labs because I do have an LPI number. I'm a licensed, a registered nurse. So I can order labs. I can give people discounts on those labs, set up their accounts. And, after we do have like a consultation. So like a 30 to 40-minute consultation, have a questionnaire, go over whatever their needs are and all those things. And then from there, decide, hey, do we need any labs? Because,
Mm.
I don't, this book is out of print, I think. But if you ever
Oh,
can get a copy of it, you'll
yeah.
get sick.
Mm.
I believe because I do believe a lot of what it says, how it starts up here in the mind, because really we shouldn't get sick. We shouldn't. Our bodies were made to heal themselves when we're in that balanced or homeostasis, right? But things happen, you know? And I used to think it was all mindset. I believed it for a long time, but I think that there's areas that were nutrient deficient.
Mm.
Or, we're gonna eat, I'm not gonna eat a donut, but somebody's gonna eat,
Yeah.
things, just all these things, the pollution in the air, all these things come at us. So I can get supplements
Yeah.
at wholesale.
Mm.
So I can add this into my repertoire of the writing. The writing gets people to know me and gives them some tools and things like that. But really, my calling and what I really need to do is do the one-on-ones. I could do Zoom calls, I could do Zoom calls. And you had a great master class, by the way. I mean, it was fantastic the other day. It was really good. People need to join you. But I'm better one-on-one because I want to focus my energy and everything on say you or whoever it is.
Yeah.
And you can make more money doing Zooms and do a bunch of people, but that's not how I work best.
Yeah. Yeah. No, great. And you also have those your oils, right? Your
Yeah.
I
So the
love that.
essential oils, yeah, I do herbs. People will argue, especially aromatherapists and some physicians, but they'll argue you cannot take them internally. If it says the word ingredient on it, you cannot take it internally. If it says the word supplement, and the brand that I use, some say supplement, like Wild Orange. It's a supplement. Now, balance is not a supplement. You can either do aromatherapy, you can use it topically, but you can't take it internally. And then um, one of the other things I was going to say too is that I mean, people really need to listen and be intuitive and all of that. But I want to say something about the labs because people, they feel like something's off and then they go to the doctor and they get their labs drawn and it's
Yeah.
within normal range. It's within that normal range. And I'll just give a slight example. So, say somebody's potassium, they'll draw it in their potassium level at that time on that day, right? Because things fluctuate just like hormones and it fluctuates every day. That's why I look for patterns.
Yeah.
um, is 3.5 to 5 at most labs in America. Well, if you're a cardiac patient and you've got arrhythmias,
Mm.
we keep cardiac patients, anywhere from 4 to 4.5. However, they better have good kidney function because if
Yeah.
not, then they're not clearing the potassium. Now, a lot of health coaches aren't going to know that because they don't have the medical background. My mom has a little dysrhythmia sometimes. If she gets anxiety, it's what causes it. Fluid overload causes it. dehydration causes it. So I know that. So she's good around 4.3 to 4.5. Or so knowing that and knowing that about people. So it's not, you go to the doctor and I'm not against doctors, but we get the labs and I can, even if they want to get their own labs for their doctor because they have their own insurance and it pays for it, that's
Yeah.
fine. Then I'll talk to them about that and we'll come up with, a plan. I'm not here to tell them what to do. I'm here
Mm.
to guide them and give them options and let them choose as well because they have to be involved in their own health care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have time for it. I mean,
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely interesting. And how do you approach, well, let's say when somebody comes to you, how do you approach? I'm just curious, how do you approach them so that you get to that root cause?
well, they have to fill out a questionnaire. And then it's not just the questionnaire. I need to see allergies, history. I need to see, do they still have their gallbladder? I need to see all these things. And I need to look at the big picture. I need
Yeah.
to look at physical. I need to look at psychological as well. Right. And then we need to have a discussion. What's
Yeah.
going on? And a lot of times they don't ask, have you had any lifestyle changes? Did you
Yeah.
just get married? Did you just lose someone? Did you just change jobs? Did you just, move? There's so many things that factor into it. So if someone's having an issue and they come to me and they say, "Hey," they send me an email, "How can you help?" We'll have a
Yeah.
little discussion about it, and then they can decide whether they wanna work with me or not, if they like the approach, if you know and I can offer if they don't even if they have insurance, sometimes the doctors aren't gonna order the labs, like, they might order what we call C-reactive protein, that shows inflammation in the body, but they may
Mm.
not order that. They may not order it because they're not thinking that it's the inflammation that's causing it because all the labs look normal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I can order pretty much anything. I mean, I can't
Mm.
order an MRI or anything like that, but, um and look at that and look at the whole picture and
Mm.
then recommend supplements or aromatherapy or herbs or changes in their nutrition. I hate to say diet because it's
Yeah.
nutrition. Our
It's
body needs it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think people understand diet differently. When you say diet, it's as if you have something temporary that you have to, stay strict on it and be disciplined. But whereas it's a lifestyle.
It,
It's
it
it
is.
has
And you teach that. You have another publication called uh,
yeah.
have a gut time. Yeah, and so you know these things as well. So it's just really important, and research has showed, and even though research has showed, as a woman, I know this that when our body's craving something, we usually need it. We need it. That's
Yeah,
why we're craving it. So if we're craving that
yeah.
German Swiss whatever chocolate, I mean,
Yeah,
we need it for a reason, but
yeah,
not to overindulge in it. You know?
yeah. Just one bite or two. We have
Yeah.
to allow ourselves, I think, for everything that comes to everything, anything actually that you desire, you have to allow. Mm, mm, but, in balance, everything has to be in balance, I believe.
A good thing
Um,
is Hershey's Kisses, and now I'm not saying Hershey's chocolate is the best chocolate, but I'm saying like that, it's such a small amount. You eat
yeah,
one and that's me, and it will satisfy me. If I need
yeah,
chocolate, I'm gonna eat a piece of something, you know?
yes,
I'm gonna eat a piece of something. So I think, you know, Substack, I really love Substack. I came to it because I needed connection. Because I'm out
mhm,
on 10 acres. I take care of 2 houses now. My stepfather passed, 5.5 months ago, and here's something that people can think about, I'm waking up every morning between 3 and 4, and so I've already been up over 10 hours, right?
mm,
So, why am I waking up between 3 and 4? Well, I know a little bit about Chinese medicine because I was in school for it, had to have surgery and come back out of it, but I still was in
mm,
it for about 6 months,
mm,
and I can research it, right? So, it has to do with lung.
mm,
Well, lung energy is usually grief or loss
mm,
because you think breath of life, breath air is breath, right? And so we
mm,
get stuck. It's also has defensive energy.
Yeah.
the lung. So if it's unbalanced, if it's not,
Mm.
yin yang, if it's not balanced, which I
Yes.
think, some of us need to. I'm a person that, I go to acupuncture and I get that, I get help with that. I'm not, not gonna, um, say that I don't need help with things too. We all do. It doesn't matter what we do. We all need help with things. And so we have people. And so, um, what was I going to say? About the acupuncturist. I mean, the balancing, it's really, really important. Things can get out of balance. You can have excess, and you talk about this, or deficient in it, and things have to be moving and flowing. I mean, it's the way it has to be, and it affects it cyclic. Here, you have pain. I had pain. I had uh, 3 back injuries as a nurse, cervical herniations here in my cervical
Mm.
spine, lumbar herniations. The lumbar herniations are gone. They're
Mm.
gone.
Great.
Hydration, range of motion, movement doesn't you don't have to be lifting, 100-pound weight.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Movement, range of motion, walking. So
Yeah.
good neurologically as well.
Mm.
Babies crawl, they do the right hand with the left leg. I mean, it helps with our brains. So I
Yeah.
think all that goes into that. And I think, I mean, that's why I came to some Substack was for the connection, and I did grow. And then, it kind of got stagnant. I'm here because of your notes challenge, you know. Yana runs a notes challenge, the famous notes challenge. It is famous. And
Yes.
so if you get like one VIP winner and one paid subscriber, correct? Is that how you're still doing it?
Yeah.
And she interviews you, but her notes challenge, the g- and it's, I want to write a note every day. Sometimes I want to write 10 notes, but
Yeah.
it gets people involved. People get to learn more about us, right? And and
Yes.
and and I didn't do it to like win the challenge. I just did it because writing on Substack, even not being a writer, and people that are here that aren't really writers, there's a lot of healthcare professionals and artists and all kinds of people
Yes.
that aren't just writers.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned about it is that, I mean, it's taught me a lot about myself. Some things I like, some things I don't like, and then once I see it, I can improve on it, and that's
Yeah.
what I want. I do want people to know this that are here is that you, I mean, what you offer people on Substack based on your experience, because you do this for a living as well. And
Yes.
you talk about it, and I wrote it here, like, on your quest, and I mean, I just have to say this because, I mean, it's true, you better know your positioning, and that was the problem with me. Um,
Mhm.
I was talking to the Chat GPT that created for me because 'cause I'm a VIP lifetime member, and you create it for others, but, um and we were having a discussion. It's like, everything's what you're saying, what you're doing, everything is accurate, but your positioning is not. Do you wanna
Mhm.
position yourself as a writer,
Yeah.
or do you wanna position yourself as an expert in what you do as an RN and all that? And it's
Mm.
like, well, I wanna position myself as an expert, and that's not how I've been positioning myself. And so that hurts conversion, right? So that and the content, everything's gotta, just like you said, in your quests and
Mm.
all the tools that you have and everything. And I'm gonna do your quest. Things, life happens and shit happens, and it. You get a couple steps backwards, or you just kind of stay still a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I designed I designed this quest just for that reason. It's not something that you start and finish. It's something that you can come back to every time that you get stuck on each of the steps of your Substack journey. That would be also positioning, but it could be also growth of free subscribers or growth of paid subscribers or monetizing with additional ways, like for example, digital products or even
Mhm.
cooperation as well. And challenges are also very important part of it, as well as the AI tools that I have and a bunch of automations as well.
Yes.
But yes, yes, and it definitely also, it's also something that you come back to whenever you feel that you have to reposition yourself as well.
Yes. And I'm coming back because I didn't get to finish it because things happened, with mother cancer, and then my stepfather died suddenly and all of that. But it's like, I need to get back to this. I need to get back to this. I've got what I know what I want to do now. I know my positioning, but I want to go back through that because it is challenging. But here's the thing I love about your quest and everything that you do really is that it's not just for Substack. It's for our
Oh,
life. I mean,
very
it's like
true.
you grow and you become okay, I'll use the word I learned that in massage school, quit saying we but I grew and I changed, and it's just I mean, isn't that what we really want? I mean, is it all just about writing and getting subscribers and, likes and all of that? To me, for me, it's more about improving on myself, being the best I can be for you, for my audience, for my mother, for the world, for when I go out and shop, help with things that I get angry about and look into what is that. Now, it could include a nutrient deficiency,
Yeah, yeah.
so I look at that as well, but that's my side of it, that what
Mm,
I do, but it really is about life, and I don't think people get that, and so people may think, well, I do this, but I'm not really a writer, but I write kind of like me. I say this: go check out Yana's Substack because nobody, I mean nobody, if you can find somebody that'll give you $100,
mm.
nobody on Substack does what she does. And what you offer for the price that you offer, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. And I really think people should check you out because and you walk the talk. You do.
I do.
I know
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
You have an
yeah.
amazing community, you really do, and I was out of it for a little while, just looking
Yeah.
at other people and trying and then I'm like, I need to go back."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really, it's about life and all that, it's
It-
not just about Substack, and I am going on YouTube, and I'm doing videos on there, and anybody that's going on YouTube, I would say, "Hey, the new CEO has said shorts. Start with shorts because that and you mentioned that in the mastermind the other day, because they really are pushing smaller channels and
True.
to help. It really helps. And I'm not saying leave Substack by any means. I
Yeah.
mean, we need multiple baskets to put our eggs in, do you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, interesting about YouTube. So, uh, Substack has that integration with YouTube, but I think those two, even without it, those two platforms work really, really well, and the business models actually complement each other very well.
Yeah.
And if you go all in on both, and you could actually just simply reuse what we are doing today, right now, this live session, it can become a great video for YouTube as well. And then we have automatically generated a bunch of shorts already.
Mhm.
Substack lets us do that very easily, and then you could post it to YouTube, and then you can then come back and write about all of the topics that we have just covered, attaching the video. And if you have a good and engaged audience on Substack, then you instantly get a bunch of views on your video, which is now
Right.
triggering the algorithm of YouTube. And so it's it's an ecosystem that feeds itself. A
It really
perfect.
does. It really does, and I've gotten people join YouTube from Substack, and I've had people join Substack from YouTube because I
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
about Substack. Join my free transformative newsletter, and they say don't say free. Sometimes I'll say no cost. Even believe it or not, I'm not a Facebook fan at all, but why not? So I put it on. I have accounts there. I don't know why I have three different accounts, but I've gotten like 11 subscribers or people that even come in from Facebook, and I'm like, "Wow, maybe
Yeah.
maybe I like it a little bit more." Like
Exactly. Yes.
it.
No, I like it too because I test a lot. I test almost every platform that there is. And from Facebook, honestly, I got a bunch of subscribers, and my conversion rates to paid subscriber are pretty good, actually, above 3 to 5%, which is much. I mean, for external audience, it's great.
Yes,
It's great. So why not? I mean, why not?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that and that's the other thing, that the conversion's hard, and, like I said, if I was just here for converting and making money, I mean, I was making 5 to 600 a month for a couple of months after I
Mhm.
joined you in September. It
Yeah.
started like January, February around the holidays. And then, things kind of went flat a little bit. Not it wasn't because I wasn't trying or anything. I think a huge part was my positioning. I
Mhm.
really do. And once I can get positioned correctly by writing that way and by
Yeah.
doing notes that way and interacting with people that are looking for that, then I
Mm.
think conversion rate, would go up. But if I was here just for that, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
I want the interaction. I've met
Yeah.
some really, you and I have met some really wonderful people here. And then the other thing is building the community that, hey, this is what I do. And this is, you know, when you have a license, there's a scope of practice, but there's things that you can do, not under that license. But it's like, okay, now I have this person like Yana that I can send to do this, or Karen for this, so building that community, because you can't
Yeah.
be all to everybody. And so
True.
have building that network of people to interact with and to send, I'm not the best, I can talk about hormones. I've been through it. But to be like a GYN type expert, I would send them to someone like that was on Substack.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
building that
Exactly.
network in that community. And I actually have someone visiting me that's Croatian that lives in Germany,
Yeah.
coming May 4th through May 14th. So, see, I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, right? I mean, I'm so
Yeah,
excited
exactly.
that I'm going to have like that real person here to talk
Yeah.
about, philosophy and life and share. Because I
Mhm.
don't, open myself up like that. I
Yeah.
really don't. I hold back a lot, and it has to do with the abuse and the addiction and, all those things that I didn't say that's who I am, because it's not who I am. It's what I've recovered from, that I
Yeah.
come out of. Do you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I would never let somebody, I mean, into my life that way. We have 2 houses and 10 acres, and with my mom, especially with her cancer, I'm very protective.
Yeah.
And, it's gonna be amazing, and I think we're gonna do some lives and, maybe do some
Also,
things so we can, show, "Hey, man, we actually met each other." She's, come, 10 hours on a plane into the largest airport, Atlanta International, and then to Gainesville and back, and I don't know, you just never know what's gonna come of it, and there may be business opportunities that come out of it. I
of
mean,
course.
I do think it's an amazing platform, I do. But I think we can get so much more out of it than
Mm.
just the writing, just the likes, just the comments. I think it's so much bigger than that.
It is. It really is. It does this to us, actually. It changes lives now.
I'm
Okay,
coming
so
to Bulgaria. No, I'm just kidding.
I know you're very welcome.
It'll be a
Awesome.
while. I have to get
I'm
over my fear of flying. I'd rather bring people to me because I don't like to fly. Maybe 3 or 4 hours, and that's max.
Yes. Yeah, so Tony says, "That's me coming."
Yes.
And
Tony
yeah,
Sockleman, yep,
yeah,
she's a philosophy writer, she's an artist, she draws, she's amazing.
yes,
It's
yes.
gonna be amazing.
Awesome. So I really want to ask you, now that I'm listening to you talking about connection and how you go and approach Substack. So I think of all of the people that I know on Substack, and I know already a lot, I think you're, if not the one, for sure one of the most active people on that platform and creating like tons of connections. And every time we talk about something, and you always come up with, oh, I know one person who would be interested for that, and you always come up with some ideas. So how do you approach this connection building on Substack? I think you do it really great, but I think also a lot of people do struggle with this. So can you share some tips? What do you do actually to build those connections?
Well, when I see people that I've subscribed to, because I'm interested in what they're doing, or I wouldn't be subscribing to them, right? And I see what they say, and it's not. I want to get to know them better. I mean, truly, I do. And so I think they say people are introverts. Believe it or not, I am very shy. I am very shy, but people think I have thousands of friends and I'm not shy. It's different, and it's easier from a distance. So those who are like introverts and afraid to reach out,
Yeah.
don't be, because we all human we do have a need for human connection. And I think that you're not going to get somebody who's whatever. If you do, just block them, right, or mute them or whatever. But just reach out to them. Give them a comment. You know,
Yeah.
but be truthful.
Yeah.
To me, if you like, and sometimes you like and you didn't like, but you like, so then you want to make a comment. Why you didn't. Spark up a conversation. There's people that, I have a lot of talks with that as personally, there will be a disagreement, right? But
Yes.
it doesn't mean we can't agree to disagree. And sometimes later on, could be a day, a week, a month, a year, y- I'll sit back and go, they were really right. They were right, and I was wrong. Or I see how they see it now, and I can understand it more. So just really wanting to and not just people that were alike, but people that are different from us, because that's how we grow and learn, right?
Yes.
Someone I wouldn't like somebody exactly like me. Oh my God, that would drive me nuts. But so, people that are more like me, we might butt heads a little bit, but it's that challenging, like I've said to you many times, iron sharpens iron. Iron
Yeah.
sharpens iron. So do we care enough about that friendship or that relationship to say, "Hey, you know what? I was wrong. I'm sorry. And, let's continue on with this." And it
Yeah.
takes a lot to say that. It really does. But, I've eaten plenty of humble pie. Thank God it doesn't have calories. And, I just think that it's really about just connecting. And next thing you know, you're connecting with them, and then, my God, next thing you know, in 5 months, they're coming to your house because you want them to. You want them to and experience that. I mean,
Yeah.
she speaks 3 languages, now she speaks English very better than I do, and,
So
first time to America, so learn about her culture, and it's so different in person too, but start
mm,
here. And it doesn't mean you have to invite anybody to your house, I'm not saying that, but that's what's become of it. So that
yeah.
reaching out and connecting, and don't be afraid. We all want some form of connection. So just do it honestly, do it openly, and be open-minded about it. Be open-minded that we're all different. We all have different perspectives. You don't have to get so pissed off. I mean, I used to be horrible about that, and but I'm learning. I'm 65 and I'm learning. I feel 30, but I'm 65, and you know,
Yeah.
we're still learning. You can't have that closed mindset. It
Yes.
doesn't serve us well. It doesn't serve our
True.
country well, and
Yeah.
or the world, and what's going on in the world today, and I don't approve of it, but I can distance myself from that, or I can change it through me, one person at a time, speaking to another person and say, hey, it's all about love, man, come on.
Mm. Yeah. I love that. I love that. I think that's the only actually the only right way to do it on Substack, and not even on Substack. It's just how you connect with others, no matter what the means is, or the media is, if it is online or also in person. A genuine connection requires just that, to be yourself and open, and just simply, yeah, be open to that person. Don't approach with, with some expectations or any type of agenda. If you want to really understand that person and connect with that person, then be open to accept. Um, and
Well,
also share, of course, of course, also share.
yes.
Um, I see sometimes people come to me in my direct messages and just drop a link and expect me to go read this. Uh, so, I mean, if I have to say something that people should not do, that would be it. So that's definitely
Yeah.
it.
It burns my butt. It I just, it because it's like, to me, it's like an assumption. Now,
Yeah.
maybe it's because it has something to do with me and I can learn from that. I had somebody do something similar, but it was a lot more detailed, and I knew, I could feel intuitively the reason behind it, because
Mm,
it was really to join something, to pay them for something. And I
true.
thought, I was gonna come back kinda strong, and I thought, "You know what? I need to look at this a different way." And, maybe they're struggling. Maybe they need money. Maybe this, maybe that, so, you know, I'm I'm still opinionated for sure, very much, but as far as, the judgmental part of it and all of that, which kind of brings me to the neuropathway thing, because, I was thinking about this yesterday. I think about it a lot, but you know how we read these things, that the negative neuropathways are stronger than the other.
Yes, they.
And I've read so much research and stuff, and then I'm like, I mean, I just read a book on, or listened to a book, because I don't read much, but I listen, on resilience, and that, everything is. So these are kind of two different topics, but they kind of go together.
Yeah,
Resilience, like everything's coming at us, it doesn't want us to succeed. It doesn't want this, and we have to fight this resistance, and it's always worse at the finish line. And
yeah.
I, like, lived that, and I'm like, I thought yesterday I had a complete mind change, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I think most of that is us," right?
Yes.
Not that people
Yes.
don't get jealous and envious and all that, but it's
No.
within us, and
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of good out there, and that why would the universe want us to not succeed, whatever that is for somebody, or be happy? I think it wants us to be happy and to succeed.
It
Well,
it
do you know
it's
what I'm
our
saying?
brain. Yes, it's our minds actually. That is that's the problem. And it's very natural actually. It's not bad. It's how we are wired to keep us safe and survive
Yeah,
actually.
and hate is strong, but love is stronger. Because think about this, and you know about neuropathways. So they say, well, the negative is stronger. Well, if that's true, and I work neurology, I see you even, and so I had to study all this stuff. But here's the thing: if we can rewire, or either create new neuropathways, or even change the neuropathways that are negative, then no, the positive is stronger and outweighs the negative. And everybody that writes about it, and I used to write about how the negative is much stronger, much stronger. No, it's like love and hate. Hate's strong, but love will cover everything. So how do
Yeah.
you feel about that? Tell me your opinion on that, because you may
Yes.
disagree,
I will, I will. No, I think you're right. I think just there are different. It's not just two sides of the coin, but very. I think a lot of sides of that coin. If it is a coin, it looks like
A
a
ball? A
like a
ball?
ball. Yes, yes. It's not a coin.
Okay.
So it's um depending on the point of view, but it is negative is stronger when you think about the power of the influence, when you let your subconscious or unconscious like rule, like drive the car or rule the game, but when you put your conscience into action, and when you start doing things consciously, when you start work on this, when you realize, start when you that happens when you start observing yourself and also other people. Like literally, if you have to put a I don't know, a a mirror in front of you. I used to have a mirror next to me on my desk at work
Mhm.
for years because of that. Just simply to see myself and correct myself all of the time, to gain consciousness of myself and my behavior as it is happening at the very same moment. And when you get that awareness, then you can immediately start working consciously on that and changing it. And once you start changing, then you see immediate change in others around you. So we
Yes.
can, we can, it's a huge, it's much more powerful. I totally agree. So the positive is anything that is positive is much more powerful. But in order to be able to unlock that, you have to work, and it's
Yeah.
not easy.
So it's a choice. So the first thing we have to do is make the choice that, listen, I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't like this part of myself. Just
Yes.
recently, and I did it through hypnosis, which people may think, you do all these crazy things. No, no, no. I'm completely aware. What I do
Mm,
is I let my defenses are down, and then it comes up.
yeah.
Love myself. After
Yeah.
all these years, the things I hated about myself, about my past, you can't erase it, right?
Yeah.
You can move
Mm,
forward, but there's still something there deep down inside at that root, right?
yeah.
Got in, cut that root out, and it
Yeah.
took several sessions. And I can say, really, for the first time in my life, that I love myself, and it's not prideful, it's not anything, but it's not like, well, I love myself, and it's not that. It's that I love the things about myself, even the things that I don't like. I still love myself as a whole. And that changes how I see everything in the world, my anger, my rage, my judgment, all these things. And now I can let that love that I wasn't even loving myself with. And I thought, well, I love other people and all that. Not the way I love now.
Yeah. I
It's
so love that.
different. And I know you've worked with me on this, and I didn't stay with it long enough, right? With you,
Yeah. Yes.
but because you do this type thing too, but I did through the hypnosis, and I mean, it changes everything. Doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
perfect. It doesn't mean I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean this or that or the other, but it does. It really changes, who I am, and then who I am for others. And
Yeah,
people
yeah. I think
notice.
I remember a saying that it goes like this: "You can't pour out of an empty bucket." So
Mm.
y- you can't love others if you don't hold love inside. So you have to fill your bucket first, and then uh, connect. Yeah, Lee says cells have memory. True. Every cell, actually. Very
Do you
true.
know Leah's my mom? She's on Substack.
Really?
Yes, that's my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mom,
great.
this
So
is Yana. This is Yana. I showed her your picture. Well, she saw who I was going to be on with today, and I said, she's interviewing me, but really, it's really I feel like it should be for both of us, not just me. And she saw your
yeah,
picture. She goes, she's very pretty. Where is she
yeah,
from? I said, Bulgaria. I said, she's very smart. She's in the C-suite. So I started telling her all these things about you and everything.
yeah.
And she just smiles.
Oh, wow, yes. I'm so happy to see her. Hi. I'm blushing now. So great. Awesome. Um, that's amazing. Is she writing on Substack or she's just
She has
reading?
so many stories to tell. There was a lot of alcoholism and abuse, and I know she doesn't want me to say that, but there was. But her aunt did the first interview with Elvis Presley.
Hmm.
They were in the motion picture business. Walt Disney was going to be her godfather. Walt Disney. So,
Oh,
I mean, they were in the black market with diamonds with the Kennedys, and all this stuff. But
okay.
there's so many like really good stories, things that she's telling me. I'm like, Mom, we need to record this because I
Yes.
didn't even know. And now with George gone, we actually have time together again. Not that, I wanted him to go away for that to happen. And she's really
Yeah.
grieving. She's having a really hard time, but I got her on, I said, "Mom, why don't you start reading Substack?" So she started reading my stuff, and she actually gave me some compliments. She loves my writing. And then now she's reading about, some doctors who write about cancer. And a nurse
Yeah.
that just did wrote about her day, and she works oncology, and wrote
Mhm.
about her day. And mom got to see it from a different point of view, from like a healthcare professional's point of view that actually works in that. So, I mean, mom's will be 88 May 13th. She's a Friday the 13th girl, and she's reading Substack.
Awesome. Great. That's that's amazing. Good
Yeah,
to know. She says
she's
watch
like,
it.
watch it. See, now I'm in trouble. I'm always in trouble.
Yes. Okay, okay. So, what about tell me about YouTube. I'm really curious. What
YouTube.
would you like to do
I
there?
I really I bought a program at the end of 2023. It was like $1,200 through Think Media. Um, if anybody needs a link to it, you can actually pay in full, like 1,000. I'm just saying this, but now you have to pay that per year. But for some reason, they gave me a link that it's lifetime, because I'm a lifetime member. So anything they add to it, I'm getting. They have some AI, and it's specifically for the YouTube and YouTube algorithm. They've had companies pay thousands of dollars, $25,000 to do, like you do, analytical research and all of that. So I use some of their tools. They're very good, especially with titles, thumbnails, hashtags, tags, even though some people say that doesn't work. I mean, consistency and positioning is, like he says, is everything. It is.
It
But I love it because it does have a bigger audience,
is
I believe. Um, Google is the number one search engine, right?
true.
And
Still, yeah,
Google owns them. I don't think that will change. What I love, what we were speaking about before, about the Substack, like doing the live, which is better than the Zoom, is because we can take this video, and believe me, it's going on to YouTube. And so, you also have a channel on YouTube. So I can connect you to, people to you on YouTube for what you do, right? So
yeah,
it's just, it's not like, how people get jealous. Well, I'm going to get, and this is how, and I used to be this way when I was younger, the competition thing. Listen, the universe, what you give, you receive, and you don't give to receive. But I think, and the shorts, I did a short, it got 1.4 thousand views in, 24 hours. Or they say it was in 48, but I looked at it, and then people are really looking for things on resilience. And then their AI within YouTube now, you can ask it questions, and it'll analyze your video and
yeah,
give you which I know you have data and you have great programs too, but it's based on their own algorithm, which,
sure,
changes. It's like Sean says,
yeah,
and there's going to be change, and the people that change, that go with the change and don't fight it, are going to be the people that succeed. And AI is big. They have, faceless channels and some AI, but here's what it shows, that there's so much of that out there. And I'm not saying don't use AI. I use it. I don't use it for ideas and stuff. I really need it for time management and to help me organize, because
yeah,
I'm not great at that. I'm just not. I am. It's so weird. As a nurse, I was, but then I don't think of this as a business. See, and that's a mindset problem, right? If I don't think of it as a business and I want to make money, I've got to shift that, right? That mindset. But um, what was I speaking about? So
YouTube.
yeah, no, I know it's YouTube. Um,
It's yeah, and the shift and the algorithm and the AIs that are coming. I also,
oh
by the
yes,
way,
yes.
yeah,
He says
I
to
also,
the people. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Can I tell you before I lose my thought again?
yes,
Thank you. So you're younger than me. So, um, he said the ones that are really going to stand out, and the
yeah,
proof is there, are the people that are. I mean, it's them. The humans, and people are now watching more on their TVs. I saw my TV thing go up in watch views. and the content usually what the algorithm is showing is like, for shorts or shorts. Now they allow up to 3 minutes, but actually anything less than like 40 seconds or less does better
True.
on
Yeah,
a short
yeah,
because they're just boom, 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 boom. And
yeah.
then as far as long form, you know, anywhere around 30 minutes, but if 45, not so much. It's better to go over an hour because
Yeah.
people are using it as entertainment, like watching a show now. So instead of sitting down and trying to watch it on their phone or watch it on their tablet or MacBook or whatever, they've got the TV on. They're sitting back with their popcorn and their whatever they're drinking, and
That's the
they're
new
actually
TV now. Yeah.
and they're watching us on their
Yeah,
TV.
yeah, yeah,
And so the growth is unbelievable. And I think the new owner, I can't pronounce his name, the new CEO, he really is promoting small channels. The algorithm is promoting small channels through shorts.
yeah.
Through
Yeah, I
shorts.
also got, I think one of my shorts got a few thousand views
That,
actually already. That was a great surprise to me already. And I also see that shift. I because I at some point in time when I was trying to figure which platform is better for me, I was on YouTube. I was very active there. I researched a lot. I even managed to monetize a channel for about 3 months, like
that's
with
great.
a lot of work I put there. I
Yeah.
also know about Think Media. I think they're great. I was considering their program at that
If you do,
point.
let me know. I have a lifetime link. A lifetime. It's you don't have to pay it annually. I don't know why they gave me it for lifetime, but I still have the link.
I am definitely interested. I would definitely
If
interested.
you pay in full, it's 1,000, and then if you pay monthly, it's 1,200. They'll let you make payments
Mm,
up, and you get immediate access and anything he adds, anything for your lifetime. And I will tell you, and not to, get off the subject, but since we're talking about his Facebook platform, his Facebook group, it's worth 1,000. Just
yeah,
that. Because I mean, he does Tube Tuesdays where you get to, I mean, and you get critique from people from all over the world. They've been doing it. I mean, he's been doing, I think, since 2008.
yeah,
And his first video, I mean, for those of us that don't like, be on camera, just let it go. His
yeah.
first video, I mean, he's like this. He's like, I don't really
Yeah,
know
I
why I'm
saw it.
here.
Yes, yes.
It's so
I
bad. I
got
mean,
to
I've never seen one that, and now just
yeah,
in affiliate because he teaches, about it and sells the cameras and the high dollar stuff affiliate through Amazon. I mean, it's
yes.
making, like 50,000 a month just in affiliate marketing.
Yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah.
think
No,
50,000 a month, nobody could make that kind of money. Oh, yes, they can.
they can. Yes, I
I know
know.
someone personally that's making 10,000 a month, and they started, and they do basically a prepping channel. And they
Mm,
started, and they weren't making anything, and it was with a multi-level company that did freeze dried food that I was with. Well, they ended up going out of business, so they were making great money a month with them, and then they were on YouTube, and they started making a little. But everybody, after about a year, they didn't see results. Right in a year, they
mm,
got out. They stayed in. They just kept doing their thing, doing their videos, and they make $10,000 a month, right at $10,000 a month right now.
yeah,
And they're just
yeah,
going to continue to grow. They've
yeah.
got the button, they've got, and all it did, and we've talked about this before. And same with Substack, consistency.
True.
Make that commitment and be consistent
Yeah.
with the right. Here we go. Make the commitment. Be consistent with your positioning, right? And
Yes,
then you talk about I
positioning.
might have glasses on for with your positioning and your content, and then I don't know what I have there. What you said before, like conversion and digital products. I know you just did an article on digital products, and I've done some. I put some on Gumroad, sold
Yeah.
some, but see, it wasn't clear on my positioning,
Mm, yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
important.
I because I'm a member with you, I signed up for my 60-minute. I think you do it once a year, and
Yes.
and, and New Year started, so I'm like, yay! You have to look at that again and help me with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because I know you know how to do it because you do.
yeah,
You're successful at it. You've done it. You've proven it, and you're doing great on Substack. You're
yes.
doing really really well.
Yes, yes, and I always it's always for I think most of the people don't really admit and don't say it honestly and openly, but everyone has, ups and downs. It's just how business is, and what's important is just to stay on it. When you're down, just stay on it. To prepare for the up, and that's the whole game. Um,
'Cause there
and
could be $500 months. I mean, my month in February was, like $125, but hey, that's $125 minus 15% that I didn't have, right? And then the next month, March, well, it's not the end of the day yet, but it's like $155, because
yeah,
I had changed some things too. So, people have to get used to that as well, you
yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially when you introduce new things, when you change, it's normal to have those, ups and downs.
yeah.
It's absolutely normal.
And when people unsubscribe, I celebrate because they're not part of it. Now, I still have their email
Yeah.
addresses because I saved them and imported them to Kit.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they may, and I think you told me before, I deleted some of the things. You're like, don't do it, don't do it. And I did it, and then I was like, ah, crap. Because here's the thing, they may not. And I've heard many. I know you have to go 2:30, but I've heard many examples of this where people that maybe they didn't, do anything like join your VIP or do anything like on Substack that way. But all of a
Yeah.
sudden, a year later, you got this product that you got out there for whatever, 500, 1,000, whatever it is, but they
Yeah.
purchased it. So
Yeah.
you want to keep in touch and keep information, not, just and the thing is to keep that communication going, not just hit
Yeah.
them with sell, 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 buy, 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 buy. Yeah.
Yes, okay, because at some point, maybe it's not the right time actually to do it. So maybe they want to wait a little bit for the right time to come. Maybe they don't feel ready. Maybe there's something in their life right now. That they just they have something on their plate, so they cannot really deal with that. But they do want to at some
Right.
point in the future. So don't delete subscribers. Never delete subscribers. Just keep
Yeah.
them.
I
Uh,
learned the hard way. I think the total I deleted that time because somebody on Substack was talking about it. It was hurting the algorithm. It was this and that.
oh
And you said to me,
no,
"Who are you listening to?" And I told you I was listening, and you're like, "No, no, no, don't do it." And then it's like, so I probably lost like 25 email addresses. But,
no.
it's life. I learned. And now
Yeah.
it's like I said, I need to listen. If you're paying somebody or somebody's your mentor and they're successful at it, don't tell them what to do. Listen to what they tell you to do. And I did. I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way. And I admit it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I always tell people, so don't listen to me. I mean, don't listen to me if you don't want to. Go test everything, see what happens. One way or another, you get to this. Those things are proven with time and with so many experiments. So there are certain things that work and certain things that just don't. So yeah,
And you do your research and you analyze and you check everything. You it has to be proven to you. And I'm the same way, but I don't have the background you have with the data and the
yeah,
AI and all that. But because I'm a VIP member lifetime, I have
yeah,
you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yes,
what you put out there, and I should use it.
yes,
Be
exactly.
fool not to. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's maybe wrap up. It's almost 1 hour now. It was so great. I think I feel that we can continue for hours, but unfortunately, we don't have that time. But yeah, maybe we should continue in the future. But for a wrap up, what would be one thing that you want to share, maybe, um, and tell all of the people watching us right now? Almost 60 people now.
I would tell them, and this is where a life thing is that don't give up. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Make that commitment. Once you make that commitment,
Yeah,
be consistent. Be consistent. Don't get discouraged. I mean, we're going to get discouraged, but don't let it stop you from doing what you do, what you're called for, because we all have a calling, we all have gifts.
yeah,
And if you love it and you're passionate about it, don't give up because it didn't get likes or subscribers or whatever, because people are reading your stuff. And eventually, it will, if you want to say pay off in whatever way that is, monetary, relationship wise, friendship,
yeah.
whatever. And that's what I would say to people. And let's just, try to understand each other and not be divided and love each other and make it a better world, And come visit Yana and I on YouTube.
Yes, yes. I very much love that. Thank you so much,
You're
Kathleen. It was
welcome.
amazing, amazing conversation, and I very much look forward to our meeting next week to
All right.
continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And thank
everyone.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
You too. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.